Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're gonna do as what we always do. We continue with the project with our Kale game this time. We've got the music first, song kind of finished last night. So yeah, today we're gonna try to make the game actually start working. Hello, Abo Elmdamid. I'm not good at pronouncing names. Sorry about that. How are you doing? Are you participating in GMT Game Jam as well? I'm using a PC. Yeah. Uh, I'm a PC kind of guy. Alrighty, so we've got some new graphics. I've got Kale to as an actual model. So let me download it and see how to put it in. We have Kale seedling and Kale full grown. So let's see what Godot will do with those and how can we import them. Because some things have changed in 4.3, right? I'm doing well. Had good night rest. I feel, full of energy and excited about working on a game. So, yeah. Couldn't be better, I'd say. Which makes me very happy because there's always this fear like, oh no, will I really want to work on the game when the game jam actually happens? Or will I be like, never mind. But no, I'm good. I had a trip with family. Um, I don't think that's an unfortunate thing, right? Enjoy family as long as it lasts, right? Yeah, so we switched to Godot 4.3 last minute. I mean, was learning Godot for last week, so it's not like I have a lot of experience, but yeah, I can already see that a lot has changed. All right, so Godot, we're gonna go to where's the GMTK Jam repo assets, and we're gonna put models, and I'm just gonna paste them here. These are two FBX files. So let's see how Godot handles it. Let's see. Assets, models. So Kale, what happens if I double click on it? Oh, it opens a new window, just like an Unreal Engine. We have bones. What? All right. We've got awesome Kale. It just needs some textures. Great. Meshes, materials, have texture. Okay, interesting. Wow, I did not expect to see bones, to be honest. Wait, will it get back to... Oh, I need to click on things. Okay. So we have root type. Wow, I don't know. Root name, apply root scale. Root name, Kale. Full. Okay, call it Kale full. Apply rotation scale. All that stuff, I'll just leave as they are. No light baking. Okay, I don't think we have animations here, so we're good. All right. Re-import. And Kale seedling. Alrighty, we've got something like this. Cool. Okay. I'm happy. Kale seedling. I don't know if that makes any change, but yeah. Where was the lighting? We don't want any static baking or something. Can I rename it? I'll leave it the way it is so that we can replace stuff later. It's just textures. Textures. Aren't textures supposed to be inside the thingy? What if I'm gonna open Kale in something else? What could I open Kale in? Blender. So let's remove those and open. Can I just drop it here? I dropped it and didn't do anything. Okay, so no dropping. Import. Oh dear. Da, 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 da. Repos. Okay, import. Ah, it has no textures. Okay, so I guess I need to get textures. Alrighty. No big deal. For now, I'm happy having a mesh to start with. Let me just going to let the artist know. I'm probably gonna get the other stuff as well. Water can, podium, player, and pet. And does it have like animations? I am not sure. We'll see. Let me just grab the rest and plop them in here as well. So let's see. The pet, okay. And no texture, no big deal. Yeah, because meshes, we've got those. Materials. There's supposed to be 2 textures here. Or 2 materials. And we have animation player. Okay. Can I play it? Miser, all that stuff. So let's re-import. Can I just drop it here? Ugh, come on, Godot, you're so weird at moving around. Focus on this thing, please. Okay. How do I play an animation? Make local, measure player, pet use, play. No, those animations aren't really working. Because we have bones that are trying to scale and stuff. It's just not really important. Interesting. So let's just take a peek at a few other things. I'm just gonna get rid of this here. And what else do we have here? Got the player. And the player looks like this. Okay. I see. And we have animation idle. And again, doesn't animate. Interesting. Podium. All right. And watering can. All right. Well, that looks good. So what I'm gonna do so far, let's just make them, mark them as imported. Main scene. Let's ignore that. Let's ignore, I mean, I'll need to do that. And this thing, let's ignore this as well. Hmm. So it looks like the models don't have textures inside the FBX. It's fine to have them as separate textures. Also, animations don't want to work. Oh, that's interesting. But we have to start, right? So I'm going to wait. Did I push those changes yet? Not yet. So let's make. You know what? I'm just gonna go. Ooh, excuse me. So I'm going to go and just make sure that pet light baking. No, okay. LODs really. Whatever. I'm just gonna leave it right now. That's good. Player. No static light baking. No weird stuff for now. Although the podium could have the static light because it's not gonna move. All right. Where's okay here? So this import, and that import. Cool. So it will be import models. Bam. Push. Now we're gonna upgrade the player model. Let me just clear my nose. I'll be right back. I just realized I wasn't showing my screen. At least that wasn't too long. Alrighty, so let me just make sure the chat works. Alrighty, disconnect, place, reconnect. Good. We're good with the stream. All right. And can we see the screen? Yes, we can see the screen. Awesome. I probably should also update the message. I'm all over today. So it's it's all good. Okay. Game of Gronkel. That's a good enough message on the bottom. And not Godot 422, Godot 4.3. That's the thing. Now we're good. Now it's up to date. Okay, so let's find our scene. This will be characters, which will be plant. We have only one character in the game, a plant. So now we can actually replace the mesh. So I'm gonna add, probably I can just plop the whole thing, right? Assets, models, and we have Kale. And we have Kale Seedling. Get rid of this guy. Okay, that looks good. So for the Kale Seedling, I'm gonna probably resize it to be a little bit smaller. There's no like resize all, really. There's just one sides and further resize all. Oh, just by clicking. Okay. That's different. So the ceiling could be just here. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we'll need to have an animation of moving from switching from the kale seedling to the full kale at some point. Sure, we could do that. Let's try to do that. So I would add probably animation layer. Okay. And we're gonna make it so that the kale full is not visible. We have just the seedling. So let's add an animation. We'll call it start. Okay. And the way we're gonna do it is that this one will track two things. It will be worried only about the kale seedling. And what it's gonna worry about, let's make sure that the seedling is visible and kale full is not visible, okay? Because when we restart a game, we'll probably start the start animation, and that should hide the full kale, show only the seedling, and rescale things, okay? So the kale transform will be probably something like 0, 0, 0, and we track it. Okay, so the full kale will be tiny as possible and not visible, while the kale seedling will be visible and will also start from really, really, really tiny. Okay. Bam. And then within maybe 1 second, actually, which sounds good, we're gonna have it to 0 0.9, 0 0.9, 0 0.9. Okay, that's gonna be our seedling here. Sure, good enough. So if I'm gonna play it, oh, I need to, I need to key it. He's pressing space to run it. Okay, can I kind of change how the easing works here? Continuous, discrete, capture, and whatever those are. Interpolation mode, linear, yes please. Easing. What's gonna happen if I'm gonna do this thing? How about this thing? I guess I would need to have a little bit of that here and a little bit of that here. Not really, because it stops immediately. I really don't know how this easing works. Confusing. Nope. Okay, I don't know how easing works, but we have a start animation. Then we're gonna create a new animation, which will be grow full. Okay. And this grow full animation will start from the seedling that is in scale 0.9, just like it was before. And visibility is to true, okay. While the full scale is 0 and not visible, okay. Or let's make it actually visible. From the beginning, just make sure that the scale is tiny. So when we grow full, I would like the animation to make it that our normal kale actually has normal scale, which eventually I would like to be 1. Like, bam, it switches into this big grown full thing. Okay, so this will be the end of the animation here. It's visible. while the little kale will probably need to start getting smaller from this point, from the half. So the small kale, the seedling, will start from here and go all the way to 0. Uh-huh. And what else can we do about it? At the end, it's not visible. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. So the animation is where this, this one is here, and the big one grows in. Small one goes down. Yeah, we've got some kind of animation. Bam. Perfect. Yeah, I think we've got the animations. So let's do that. So what's wrong with animations? The one imported, the animation player gets created, and animations are inside. Just no keyframes or anything. So just empty set of animations. And let's take a screenshot of that, just in case. Uh, so how do we do it? We're gonna present it like here. Yeah, because animation doesn't show up here, we can probably just drop the pipette somewhere here for now. And make it local. Animation player. Okay, let's take this screenshot, and I'm just gonna explain. Animation for the pipette shows. It also shows the length around 0.4 second. And it shows affected bones properties. Just no keyframes. Okay, should be it. Cool beans. So let me just get rid of this pipette, and we're back in business. So the thing is that I'll need to be able to define at what stage of growth the plant should go from one stage to the other to play the animation. Hmm. Okay, looks like we've got the kale texture. Let's open in browser. Kale PNG. Let's save it as, and I'm gonna plop it in a thingy as well. Where is it? Here, assets. This would be actually texture. Let's call it Kale full. Kale full underscore texture. And I'm just gonna save other things, which will be a podium, I believe. Podium dot, let me underscore text dot png. And what is this thing? Watering can. Oh, red watering can. That's fun. Watering can underscore text dot png. And let's also get the player. Player underscore text dot png. Cool. We've got the basic textures. Let's see what they look like. So I should be able to go and see those textures. Okay. Beautiful. We have this guy. And I don't think we had to have any specifics here. They have transparency and everything. Cool. So when I go to models and we get the kale, so materials or meshes, materials. We have texture. Use external, yes. We're looking for a material. Okay. Um. Okay, so it doesn't show the texture. Do I click on some settings here to actually say it? We have this animation, meshes, tangents and whatnot. All that is fine. So we're not even worrying about this stuff. So we basically have one material here. That means I just go to Kale Full here. Because I also need to play the full animation to just see it. So Kale Full. Do I have any say so on the material? I guess we need to create a separate material. All right. So let's go to resources, new folder, materials, and we're gonna create a new resource. Material. We could have the PBR, right? Shader, procedural sky, placeholder, physical, particle, panorama, standard material, 3D. There we go. Create. Kale for material. Okay. So while we have this, let's go to our Kale model. I will link that material. So material. What did it just show? It showed this, right? Yeah. So this external, and we're gonna get the material. Boop, boop, boop. Open. And we should have it done, right? So now I should, let's see how it works. If I have this, doesn't mean that suddenly I can just, it's gonna just work. Yes. The kale, we just need the transparency to work. There's something in right here. Because those things should be cut out. Okay, but that's a start. Force sRGB, we don't need those. Mission normal map. Let's see, transparency. Alpha. Scissor. There we go. Scissor or hash. Oof, no hash, that's for sure. And def pre-pass. Nope. Guess we can just do that. Because normal alpha kind of looks wonky. Oh, I see. Because our texture has extra. Oh, the texture is right there. Can we make it somehow without the shading? Because right now the textures are blurry, right? I would like it to render without the smoothing. Rem, clear code, all the fancy stuff. Sampling. Nearest. There we go. Beautiful. Now we have kale that looks like kale. What a weird plant. Alrighty. This is our kale full thing. Okay. Oh, it needs to be double-sided because it's glitching out completely and confusing itself. Ah, see? Kind of wants to look through itself. And I think that's our transparency thingy. I'm gonna do scissor. Now it's fixed. Okay. It even started shading itself, which is extra cool. All right. And we have it double-sided, so that's good. Yeah. Hell yeah. Now metallic 0. Okay. Roughness. 0.75. Because it's scale, it should have a little bit shine. Let's do 0.8 for now. Okay. Normal maps, we don't worry about all that. It's a game jam. Okay. I really like that kale model, to be honest. And I think we also got the seedling texture already. How lovely. Kale, seedling, text, PNG. There we go. So, what I'm gonna do now is actually duplicate the material. Oops. Duplicate and be kale seedling. And what we're gonna do here is change single thing, just the texture. That should be enough for it. And because of that, we can go to models, scale seedling, and just we have two materials. What? Scale seedling. Where is it? Resources, materials, scale seedling. Okay. Open this guy up. And here open same thing, I guess. We import. What does it look like now? Start. Okay, looks good. We've got a seedling with a nice little hole from this side. What? Okay, this is a start. I'm fine with that. So we've got this thing, and what now? Yeah, we have animation to grow full, right? Beautiful. I'll replace it, and yeah, I think we have the plan going. The main thing. Let me see what it looks like here. Oh, it doesn't look like anything because it starts with zeros for both of them. Okay. Sure. So let's do the whole thing as here, start, and this will be our start. So we can mark the animation start as the autoplay. Start, bam, we grew the first plant, and it just grows right now. I mean, at this rate, it's like way too fast. It shouldn't be like that, but it grows. Okay. We'll change the camera angle maybe a little bit to make it look down a little bit. So let's just plop it here. And can I just look from the side? Yes, I can. Ooh, not that. Okay. What does it look like now? Okay, the camera could look a little bit higher up. Yeah, that looks good. Perfect. This way we can see some of the scale. And yeah, that's it. So let's save the game. So we can push the changes. Bum, bum, bum. First of all, we'll just import a texture. Okay. Import some textures. Then we're gonna make the materials for Kale. Apply Kale materials. And add Kale animations. So replace Kale model. Add Kale growth stage animation. Bam. Beautiful. So another thing is that we have the animation start with the default, which is fine. But we need to do additional stuff. We need to basically have it so that this growth animation always starts when the new game starts. When you click new game, it's gonna start up, right? And then we want the growth happen from the seedling to something else at some specific growth stage. So we'll need to figure that part out. First of all, I'm gonna remove this instant growth because that's a little bit too much. Okay. That should make it grow way smaller. We just grew like this. You can see that it's growing. It's starting to show some shadows. Right? And at some point, it would need to grow to the next one, to the next stage. So I would say add 1x where we have a full size of the thing. Let me think. So we have the player thingy that keeps the thing growing. That's fine. Now I would like to make it so that the plant itself, let's call it bang start. Let's actually move it down. And I want two things to happen here. I want to have, oh, the kale full, we just have this thing. We would need to find animation inside of it. So let's try to do it like this. Kale full. Ay, ay, ay. How do I get the node? Because I could do the get node, but I should also be able to do this thing with slashes, right? Let me just search for the already. And in the documentation. Already. No, C#. There we go. Already. Get node my label. Okay, I guess we could do that. I guess. Yeah. Let's do it. So let's do get node. So we'll get the node full slash, and we can do slashes here, right? I presume. So where is it inside the kale? The kale, and we can open the scene. Oh, can't just do it like this. Oh no, we have animation player here. So why didn't it show up? Where's my animation player? It's right here. Refresh doesn't work. On pass, it'll be, yeah, let's just do pass. Doesn't want to refresh, unfortunately. Let's close it and let's open the code again. Look at that, it doesn't want to load a scene. Open a scene to see it. There's a scene for you. And it's animation. Does it have a name? Not really. Where's the animation? We have this, that, and that. Animation is not existing. The heck? Animation player. We're on a plant scene, right? Yeah. Row player. Will that make a difference? Okay, now the plant. Yeah, we had an animation player. So what the heck? Some weird stuff's going on here. Refresh. It doesn't show. Oh well, we're gonna rename it ourselves. Gonna keep it as animation player. We'll pretend that we're gonna wait. Gonna pretend that we're grabbing this one, and this will be the anim player, animation player. Okay, and this will be not careful animation player. There we go. That's how I want it. So on start, we're gonna do anim player dot play start. Okay, and that'll be our start. So we can just do straight up func ready. And we're just gonna do start. Kind of, but maybe not. Let's not do that. So we've got that. And then when we have if scale. So we'll need to keep track of if it already triggered the growth. So var has grown. Or let's do because there's no need to like keep track of the previous frame, right? So let's do is fully. Let's do is full. Okay, be false. And we're just gonna comment it out as, is the plant fully grown? Keeps track if the full growth animation has played yet. Okay. Says it's unknown. Seriously. So if not is full and scale.x is larger or equal than 1.0, or we're gonna do like straight up export var, and let's call it um, full grown size. Should be a float, and value will be 1.0 so far. So we can just also name it a plant growth or plant size value when the model should switch from from ceiling to fully grown. Okay, something like this, something real simple. So it'll be 1.0, and therefore we can plop it here. And if this happened, as in scale reached a spot and it's not fully grown yet, we're gonna make it is full true. So we make sure that this doesn't happen again. And we're gonna do on player, the play. And do we have the things ready here? What was the name of the animation? Grow full. Okay. I think that should be it. Let's try to play the game. It grows, but I don't know when it reaches the 1.0 because we don't have the indication of what the actual size is. Can I just do remote main plant? Oh no, I need plant stats. The size is 0.7. Oh no. Growth rate, let's do 0.05 again. Keeps growing. And keeps growing. And suddenly the switch should happen. Bam. There we go. Okay, that works. Okay. Cool. So we've got that done. We have nice 1 second animation and everything. So code works. Gosh, this is so simple. So here in the plant, we're gonna make it trigger growth animation at specified size threshold. Okay, push it. And in my case, I'm gonna call it as this is pull request worthy. So I want the branch, which is okay, model to main, which will be what? Import models and textures. Uh, make kale grow from ceiling to full. So let's call it import models, work on kale. So it'll be import models and textures. And mm, replace scale placeholder with proper model. Uh, make Kale have animated switch from ceiling to oh, okay. Automatically trigger animation. I mean growth animation. Okay, let's start with that. Okay, and that was me. Create pull request. Gonna view it on GitHub and just gonna paste it on Discord. So import models plus scale goodness. Bam. Alrighty. Looks like nobody else on team is here yet. I guess it's 9 a.m. there, so I don't blame them. Okay. I'll be right back. Short bathroom break. Alrighty, I'm back. Okay, so let me think. So the thing now is that I'm actually gonna merge that in. Yep, I'm gonna merge that in because I need it ASAP. Okay, cool. So I can go to main. We have the new changes with the kale and whatnot. I'm gonna get rid of the branch. And song I can merge in as well because it was just a song. So let's take a peek at that. Thinking. Yeah, it's just audio files. This way I'll be able to just keep it clean. So this thingy here, delete it here. Beautiful. Okay, got a song on this thing. Why hasn't this deleted? What is going on with this repo? Okay, now it's deleted. Cool. So we have those plans, stats UI. That's just on my end, so let's delete it. Yeah, I can delete all my old branches. Cool. Main menu mockup. Isn't that still a pull request? No, this was merged in. Okay, cool. Oh, this looks so much cleaner now. So mouse interactions. Does that be merged in? This one has a pull request. Can I see it on Git, please? How do I show it on Git? This button? Yeah. I just want to see if there are any other pull requests. I mean, I could have just gone here, right? Okay, so this is the only one that's open. And yeah, I'm gonna leave that on because that's not my code. I don't want to mess up how it's being, how it's being changed by merging it in, and if some changes need to be pulled in, issues resolved, and all the boring stuff. But what I want to do is I want to create a new branch, and now I think we should start working on figuring out how to actually manage the growth of the plant over time. So what I'm gonna do is let's do growth management. Let's call it a branch like that, because why not? And on Trello, I'm just gonna do it so that completion screen mockup, that's one thing. Okay, Godot needs to restart. It's freaking out about changes. So I'm gonna create a task which will be create systems for balancing plant stats. So it will be basically systems for specifying growth over time, comma, how water levels affect health and growth, etc. So I'm thinking that we could do a bunch of interesting stuff here. Let me just get rid of all those things that I don't want here. Okay, we have just the main scene, which is good enough. What we want to do here is now we want to basically start thinking, as the plant grows, I want the growth to be kind of multiplied. When it's teeny tiny, the growth is small, and as it gets larger, so things keep zooming out. So I'm thinking like, maybe this is where we could use just a bunch of curves that we can start adjusting. And that could be it, maybe? So let's think. Resources. Let's do new folder. And let's make it balance. And can I do like a new resource or something? Is there some like curve? Curve 2D, curve 3D. Ooh, That's not, no, that's in space, sorry. 2D mathematical curve. Okay, that will be good. Yeah. What the hell is curve 3D? Uh, curve, like interval points. Okay, just like that. Nope, nope. So just this. Create, and let's make it uh growth multiplier per size. Okay, beautiful. So this should allow me to specify the thing, right? Max value is, let's do it 100 for now. So up to 100 size, and we have it from some kind of growth to some kind of growth. And I can probably just do it like this. So what I mean here is that we have a value of how fast the, like, when the plant is tiny, how fast it's growing when it has perfect conditions, uh, and that size. So when the plant is small, I want it to grow a little bit, but as it's growing larger and larger, I want to grow faster and faster so that the world gets smaller. So I'll probably start with something like, can I just, whoa, edit the value here? So be 0.8 or like 0.5. Here I would like it to be maybe times 50. Sure, times 50. But what does it mean if it's size, for example, when the cat gets full, okay, I want it to grow at rate of 1. Oh, no. That's X position, which is, what the heck? Oh, it's from 0 to, can adjust the values from the left to the right. So I would need to specify, how interesting. So the one is the max size possible on the right here, while this one is this thing. So, don't really like it. Let's make it the 0.1 as 1. Like 0.05. Okay. Oops. Let's see how that goes. We'll have this initial increase in growth, and then it's gonna go a little bit faster. Come on. This. Okay. I'm fine with trying that. Yeah. Not the most fun system. I would like this to be way more flexible, but oh well. We don't have that tool right now. Because I would like to be also to specify what's the max point, put them somewhere else, and have, like more flexibility. But at least we have a tool for a curve. So let me think how we could actually make it work. Because I have the global script. Not scenes. The scripts. I have the script plant stats, and this is supposed to update things properly. So here, the size, I want to do growth rate times the thing from the curve. So I would need to basically get additional data, somehow load that script. How can I do that? Can I just go to here? Where would that be? Assets? No. We have resources here, balance. Can I just plop it here? Hmm. Um, how do I load a resource? So, load resource at runtime. Resource loader load. Okay, let's try that. So let's do func ready bar, and this will be the growth multiplier per size is resource loader load, and we just get the path to it, right? Oops. Like here. And shouldn't this have like some kind of this thing in front of it to make it into an actual resource? Uh, gosh, there was this thing somewhere here. Because this just uses a string, but didn't it have some other stuff? Let's do name string or something. Because there was this other thing. Let's just go to the manual, scripting, programming languages, GD script, and reference. And we had the types somewhere here, I think. We have keywords, we have operators. Do we have string literal somewhere on ready? On ready is just annotations. We can do get label. I wonder if on ready we could just also do some additional code. Built-in types string name is with the ampersand, and node path. Oh, that's a node path. Node property not to a resource. I see. Oh well. So can I just grab this? Take this out. Grab this and make it on ready. Bam. That should work. And I want it to be type. What is the type of this thing? Uh, Double click. Curve. Yeah, there we go. So I should be able to do growth rate times dot add point bake. The hell is bake? Cancel free, changed, clean dupes, connect, get. What is get here? Property string name? Nope. How do I get the value? Take over path, set up local to scene, point, sample. And I give it the offset. Returns the y value of the point that would exist at an x position. Param offset. Beautiful. So we give it the existing size here. And that will define the growth rate multiplier. Okay. That should work. Uh, play? Grows, wow, it grows fast. Holy moly, now it just goes bonkers. Oh, because we went all the way inside here. Huh. So I would just need to also define additional value, which is max size expected. Let's do 100. Okay. Let's say it's 100. And therefore we'll need to map it. Mm, so let's do var sample offset. We need to do the underscores. I hate those underscores. Absolutely hate them. So this will basically remap, and we have the value size from 0 to the max size expected, and from 0 to 1. Okay. And therefore we can just plop it here. And maybe that's gonna work. Where we have it, readjusted. Okay, it's growing. It should grow extra slow initially. Too bad it doesn't play inside the editor. That would be just so helpful. Because now the moment I want to go here, it just gets off the screen. So annoying. So and here we have the point stats. The growth rate, if we're gonna put it to 0.005 again, look at that growth multiplier per size. It loaded the proper thing. So that's good. All right. I'm happy with that. The plant keeps growing somewhere here. Right? Teeny tiny, but it grows. So... Huh. Now it should speed up. Yep. So I want to preview that sample value or something. Just for the preview purposes, let's do growth rate. Let's do export var, and this will be the size increase per second. And this will be initially 0. I'm just gonna set it here. So let's do, just so that I can preview it in the editor, is this times that here. Okay. This is for preview purposes. Okay, and I'm gonna mark it here, read only value, just for previewing debugging. And this way, when I start a game, I can go to remote, plants, stats, and we have size increase per second. Now it gets lowered because I have it set that where the growth slowdown rate goes down. So I'm going to increase it to maybe here. You can still see that it's lower. Now, even though this is lowering, the plant is growing faster. Cool. So it doesn't look like it slows down, even though the growth is going down. And this is purely because the curve is going up. So as the plant grows, the whole thing grows as well. Wow, this is speeding up fast. Not bad. So if I'm gonna make it to 2 again, the growth is still pretty fast. Wow. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I think it's gonna still start speeding up. So that will be something to, readjust over time. Like, you know what, maybe this is the maximum size. Let's have that curve a little bit slower or something. And it could be readjusted. So, hell yeah. Still keeps growing in a speed-wise, right? So let's say I water it again. And it just keeps going. Keeps going. Huh. Cool. So we have the size of 29 so far, and currently the max expected is 100. So I'm gonna leave it at that for now. Because I don't know how many assets we'll have to keep it growing. Now, eventually I would like to have... Wow, this is really speeding up. Okay, now the size is over 100. And you can see that now our growth slows down because this slows down. Okay? So size increase per second slows down because we run out of the curve, but not a big deal. Ah, cool. Okay. I speed it up back to 25. Yeah, it keeps growing until you start seeing the curve of the planet, right? Cool. So that system is here in place. I'm happy with that. Now I want to just add a few extra things. First of all, I would like to have it so that, because beyond the uh, you know, there are two stats that are important in the game: health and growth. When the health goes down to 0, you lose. The plant just dies. While the growth, the higher it goes, the faster the plant grows. And the goal is to grow the plant. But often, if you want to increase the growth, you're gonna do something that might decrease the health of the plant. Therefore, right now we have the first tool, which is water. And then we want to add more stats, like maybe fertilization and maybe something else that would manage the health and growth. So for example, with water, we want to keep it at center. Or at some point, I don't know, maybe that bar will be changing depending on the size of the plant. And therefore, it would be nice to have it where, depending on how far in each direction, like too much water, maybe we wanted that if you have a little bit more water, the growth goes faster, but it starts to get damaged. Maybe you have too little, the growth slows down, and it gets damaged. Things like that. So it'll be nice to define those curves. So again, in here we can just create... I could probably just do duplicate, and let's make it growth multiplier per water. Okay. So this means that on the right one is in case we have too much water, 0 we have no water, 0.5 is like the ideal thing, kind of. So I would like to... Is there like a reset thing? Delete all the points. There we go. So first of all, 0.5 is 1. That's the maximum growth. That's what it should look like. Oh, and yeah, max value is 1. Well, here on the bottom, I want to have it that if there's no water, there's no growth. Okay. Additionally, if there's too much water, maybe there's some growth. Okay, that's a fun thing. We can adjust that. So this last one, let's say that there's 0.3. So if we have too much water, there's no penalty to growth. But if there's no water, there's penalty to growth. Maybe we can actually make it that this value is somewhere here instead. Like this plant really needs some water. So let's do it this way. Position 0.15, let's say. And I want it also to have some kind of dead zone on top. And this is growth. So let's say that the growth is best when there's a little bit too much water. Okay? When there is a little bit too much water, the growth will be the best. So the player can have kind of fun with figuring out, do I want to risk the growth versus something else? And that's how the curve goes. Yeah, I like that. Can I select this and extend this one? No, I cannot extend it. So let's just call it something like this. Good enough, right? Jaden is asking, what game am I making? I'm making a game about growing kale. The kale grows in the way that you start a game and the kale just grows. And as the kale grows, the camera doesn't change, so on camera the kale keeps growing. Let me show you here. Let's say I go to the plant stats. I can make the growth go a little bit faster. Okay, the kale grows and keeps getting larger. You can see the buildings in the back getting smaller. Okay, we have the full form of the kale. And it's just gonna keep growing. And what you'll be doing will be, watering to manage if there's too much or too little water, to manage how fast the growth is, and for the health of the plant not to run out, because when that goes down, you die. And the plant dies. And at the end of like 5-minute period, you're getting rated for how large did you manage to get your kale to. And it's supposed to get ridiculous. That's pretty much it. Like if I'll increase the growth again. This is early beginning. I didn't have much time to work on it yet, so early stages. But yep, the plant will eventually grow to the size of larger than buildings. Hopefully way larger than buildings. I know it's not the most groundbreaking idea or something, but it's interesting for the balancing perspective, how to make this thing actually kind of fun. Okay, so we've got our growth multiplier per water. Let's duplicate it and let's make it health, not multiplier, will be health change per water. Okay. So health change per water will be like add or remove. With growth will be multiply. So with health, for the plant to be healthy, I would like, first of all, minimum value will be -1, maximum value will be 1. So we want it so that when there's exactly water in the middle, that's perfect for that particular plant. So let's just do straight up that. The best spot will be, or do we want it? Should the water heal the plant? Let me think. Let's make it so that the best position will be where we have 0.5 water. We're gonna have 0.1, maybe just a smidgen of health when it's in that spot. When we have way too much water, we're gonna be losing some health, like let's say -0.5 or something when there's too much water. And the bonus here, let's make it like really tiny. Okay, because these will be, again, numbers that multiply. So there will be that. So here will be start going down. Or do we make it like, because the progress bar is from 0 to 1. So this maybe would be per second, how much damage we're getting per second. So let's do 0.5. Healing will be 0.1. So in 100 seconds would heal itself fully. While here, so let's actually make it from negative 0.1 to positive 0.1, so that we can actually preview the curve. It doesn't matter at that point because the values can be whatever. Let's make it that if you have absolutely no water, it really dies fast. Okay. And if there's very little water, maybe it doesn't die yet, but it's not happy about it. So this value is this one, I guess. Yeah, that should be this one. How does it show that it's positive? Huh. Unless this is this one. Oh, it's this one. Okay. So let's do 0.02 here. And if there's a little bit too much water, it doesn't go bad for a while either. I just want to make it so that it doesn't heal itself anymore. So this is probably this value. Let's make it at 0 and good enough. Okay, some kind of fun curve, and let's call it a day. And this is something that will be for balancing purely. So now I would like to actually include both of those. So how do I change the name so that I can copy it? So in here, I would like to have another, we're gonna have this, and we're gonna have this thing. So we can just straight up paste those here. And just parentheses with quotes at the end. So we're gonna have growth multiplier per water and health change per water. So let's do change per water. Okay. So depending on how the size of the whole plant changes, that's how it changes to grow as well. Then we have how much water it has, and that, and probably depending on the size, we'll need to decide how much water it needs. Maybe not. As long as we just keep the water in the middle. I don't know. Because at some point, you just have rivers diverted to it, and therefore you don't need to worry about water anymore, I guess. Hmm. Don't know. We're gonna figure it out. But for now, we have this thing. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Growth multiplier per size, per water, health change per water. Okay, so how do we do that now? So in processing, we have this growth thing here. So that affects the actual growth of the plant. Okay. So let's call it apply growth. Like apply growth to size. Okay. We make the plant grow. But before that, we need to do things like modify growth rate. And before that, we're gonna do whatever, apply health changes. So apply growth rate changes. And that's that. So with the health, we basically need to figure out how much water we have. And that's that. Oh, and the water needs to go down at specific rate. That's another thing. Probably depending on how large the thing is, that's how much water it uses. Gosh, I guess there would need to be another curve that makes how much importance water plays initially. Well, let's see. So the health changes will be basically health change per water. So we need to get the sample size, which already is 0 to 1, which is fine. So we're just gonna need to sample it. This thing dot sample, and it's gonna be health change per water level. Okay, this should give us how to change the health. So health plus equals this change. Great, that's it. For now. Then the growth rate. So growth multiplier per water. So we added to here to another multiplier. Ay, 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 ay. So I guess that should be the growth rate, right? Get this multiplier of that thing. So we should have some kind of rate of growth, and then it's multiplied by however much water we have, so that improves it or removes it. But I think it goes all the way to 1, so 1 is the best option. And then on top of that, we have the other thing, which would be the, let's say, fertilization could improve it more or whatnot. So I guess we should have something like export bar growth rate base, which could be 0.5, something like this, and something either improves it or slows it down depending on how much water you have and all the fun stuff. So let's think. The water level will start at 0.5 as well. Okay, so growth rate is right. Let's again make it read only. So I'll just let's make it the base value of growth. All modifiers will be applied to it. Yeah, because this is kind of constant value of growth that could be reduced or increased by some effects, while something like health is a finite resource that we just run out of. Okay, so apply growth rate changes will be so as to growth rate is the growth rate base times and in this case would be water multiplier. Okay, so let's calculate it. Var water growth multiplier will be something like this again, depending on water level. Okay, and therefore that should be it. Let's see what it looks like now, if this actually plays. modify and should start growing like crazy. Oh, cannot call null. Function process. Line 32. 32. Health change per water. Oh, I guess we're missing dot res. T resource. Uh, play. Same thing. Really? Wait, I just changed it. Save. What the heck? Play again? Oh, now it works. Right? What the heck? The health is increasing like crazy. Oops. Where's the code? Here. So health, this times delta, of course. And at the end, health, yeah, I want to see that because I think we still have like crazy numbers here. See, the health increases. And the growth is like nothing. What the heck? Why is the growth nothing? The base is 0.5. Growth rate. Yeah. Times growth multiplier, which is from water level. Play. Remote. Plant stats. What do we have here? Growth rate is 0.05. What? Size increase per second is just that. Growth slowdown, we can remove that. And health is increasing beyond crazy. And water level is 0.5. Why is the growth rate so little? Oh, we have moved toward. Let's delete that part. And maybe that's gonna fix it. I doubt so. But who knows? Yeah, that's not changing. And by accident, I turned off the whole editor. Hmm. So what is the word growth multiplier then? 0.5 times this thing. So we can go and see growth multiplier per water. 0.5, the offset 0.5, it should be roughly, like this should be like 0.445 at the end. Oh, I have health change per water. What? Health change per water, please. There we go. Now that should fix the problem. Start new game, and look at that. It's growing. Really, really, really fast. Okay, growth rate is going to be stable because right now the water doesn't change. Okay. And the health keeps increasing because of reasons. So, yeah. Okay. So now what I would like to have is the global health, global growth multiplier. So growth slowdown rate, no. Let's do export var global size. Oh, wait. Global growth multiplier 0.1. Okay, this is gonna make the plant grow slowly. Global multiplier of how fast the plant grows. Okay, and we're gonna be able to just plop it here. Times this, and we're gonna just use it here. Okay, just like that. There we go. 3 lines of code. And because of that, when we start the game, it should run way, I mean, it should grow way slower. So this way we have a nice start. Okay, growth rate is 0.67, which is fine. And then size increase per second is just this little thing. Because, that makes sense, kind of. The plant still grows. The beginning will be slow. Okay, cool. So if there will be something around it, you would see how the plant grows. Oh, it just grew to full size. So we have full size thing, and that's it. Yeah, cool. The health increases way too much, but we can change that with a simple thingy here. So health change this thingy, too bad it doesn't highlight the thing. So right now it has 0.01. How is it increasing the whole thing that much? By 1% per second. Oh, that's what it is. So let's do 0.1. Okay. There we go. So now when I'm gonna start the game, the health will be still increasing, but very, very slowly. Okay, it already went over the edge, so it's still increasing, but at least within 5 minutes it's not gonna be a total disaster. So what we need to do now is other stuff. So with the health, let's just apply that the health is at the end, because we'll have a bunch of other changes to health depending on additional stats. So be clamp F, the value is health from 0 to 1. Okay. And this should make it make sure that we're not going over the limit. And we're gonna do exactly the same thing with growth. Growth rate, because we're displaying it, it shouldn't go over any of those values either. And size, of course, changes, but yeah. So we would also need to have apply water changes. Okay. And in this case, I would like the water plus equal is water change per size. Okay. Depending on the size of the plant, we're gonna change how much water changes, I guess. Because the thing is that as the plant grows, it needs more water. Therefore, you would need to use larger and larger items to water it. So the question is, when we're displaying water level, I guess we should have something calculated on how much I know what a volume there is and how much is required for the plant. Hmm. Water change per size. Yeah, some games would make it so that you need to have maximum water, but I think it would be fun to just add the aspect that you don't want too much. It's not as punishing as when you have too little, but still. So I guess we would need to have basically the volume, the max it can hold, and basically when you're adding more or doing whatnot, you're changing that volume and different applicators, like a pipette or a water can or a bucket or a hose or something, would change that value on how much they're adding per frame or something. So we have water level. Current water level from 0 to 1. Uh, Calculated per frame. Okay. Then we have another value. Uh, Max water capacity, which will make it 1 in the beginning. And we also have uh, current water volume. That's something that we would add to the actual what do you call it? That's something we would add to the actual uh, come on. By watering, it would increase this value, and rest is going to recalculate itself. So the max water capacity, that will need to be applied via some kind of curve. How it scales depending on the size. And then this just stays. So the plant grows, you'll need to keep adding. And then we have water level, which will be basically calculated how much there is per maximum. 0, 0. If this is equal to maximum, it's 1. Okay? So we need basically 2 values. One is how much water we're losing per size of the plant, and the second is how much water plant can hold total per size. And this will be regarding the maximum size of the plant. Okay, this is a lot of variables to juggle. A whole lot of variables. So I guess we need to have a curve for max water capacity and water usage per size. Okay. So let's go to Godot and try to figure that out. So I'm gonna copy this curve and we're just gonna do water cap per size. And so let's think about it. I want to start with something like 1, okay? And by per size, okay, so the size increases all the way to 100. So by the time the plant is 100, we want probably not just 100 times water. We want probably like increase it by tenfold or something. So this one here could be 100, okay? By thousandfold, all right? And the way I would do it is that the requirement for water slows down over time. Initially, it increases fast, but then it isn't increasing that much anymore. Okay, so let's actually do it something like this. I don't know if 100. Let's just do times 10 because this. Whoa. Oopsie. 7. Let's do 10 here. 10. What the heck? Therefore, this will be here. So maybe, yeah, let's start from 1. The water will start increasing until we'll get to a certain point when it's like no big deal anymore. Okay. Let's see how that goes. Okay, so that's water capacity per size. Additionally, we want to have water loss per size. Okay. And this is the water loss or water percentage loss. Water percentage loss. So that it's a little bit easier to adjust. So this would be again per second. So max value will be what? 1% per second or something? That'll be the max value. So initially, I want the loss to be, you need to keep re-adding it so that there's no issue. So let's make it 0.5% of water per second loss. And as we go to the maximum size, we just have at the end very little of loss. 0.01. Wait, half means, oops, it's 0.1. So half is 50% per second. No, 1/2 the percent. So this is 1%. This is half the percent. Okay. Max value is 0.1. Max value is 0.01 because that's going to be 1%. Therefore, the end value here, 0.01, whatever. Let's just have it displayed here. Okay, at the end, the value will be significantly smaller. And why is it rotated like that? And then it just gets easier over time or something like that, right? Yeah, I don't know. This curve will be redefined a million times. Okay, cool. Alrighty, so we need to add those in the code now. Okay. So let's see. We have the growth, health change, and then there we go, water cap per size and water percent per size. So I should probably add some comments here. Growth multiplier per size. How much the growth value is multiplied by when applying, when changing the size. Uh, this modifier is changing depending on the current size of the plant. Then we have growth multiplier per water. Multiplier of the growth multiplier depending on the water level. Current level. Okay. And then we have this one. How much health to add, remove per second. Depending on water level. And then we're gonna have the fun stuff here, which is this and that. Okay. So this one here will be water cap per size and water loss per size. So how much water there is per size of the, water capacity there is per size of the plant. So it'll be size times sample. Okay. And then we have the other one, which is how much water percentage per second is lost. Okay. Water decreases on its own. Okay, that's it. Beautiful. We have a lot of parameters here. So, this is complaining now. Why is that? Why is it complaining? Water change per size. Ooh. What did I delete? What? Oh, I did delete something, right? Oh, no, this is old stuff that didn't exist. Okay. Yeah. So the water, we will want to basically, not water, we want to calculate the capacity. So water capacity per, wait, water capacity. Oh, max water capacity is basically the size times, and now we'll need to sample the water. So water cap per size by the current size. Okay. So it's gonna get multiplied by that. This way, I don't have to do weird stuff, have like extreme curve or something. We have it nicely multiplied. Dot sample, please. Okay. So now that we have water capacity, we can calculate the. Oh, we can apply the water loss. So, water current water volume minus equals And then we have the loss, right? So the current water volume times, oh no, this would be the max water capacity times uh, water loss per size, sample, and we have the size. Okay, beautiful. So this will decrease the water. So water level is current water volume divided by max water capacity. There we go. And that should calculate the water level basically. And therefore apply all the other modifiers. Let's see how it doesn't work. Start new game. Wow, the water was like crazy. What the heck? Why? Max water capacity is the size of the plant times water cap per size. Oh, so like 0 or something. Oof. Well, the initial volume was like crazy probably. So, oops. Because we modified the volume. So let's actually cap it. Okay, so current water volume is clamp F. Current water volume from 0 to the max water capacity. Okay, and let's see if that makes any difference. And now health goes down because we ran out of water. No. I guess the plant grows so fast, right? I mean, the plant grows so fast that I can't even see the size here because size is already here. I mean, it stopped growing at this point because it has no water. Okay, this goes a little bit too fast. Yeah, way too fast. Do we need to apply like change the curve? Growth multiplier per size. And the initial growth multiplier is 0.5. 0.05. Just so we can have a chance to start the game? No. What the heck? What do we start with the size-wise? What is the beginning size? 0.1. If the initial size is 0.1, why is our water level nothing? So max water capacity is 0.1 times water cap per size. Oh, because we never ever remapped the size. That's what it is. So I straight up need to just have this as the first thing. Let's call it sample size sample value. Okay, and let's make it here. And the same thing here because this is per size. Current water volume per size up to 100, right? Yeah. This goes well. Okay. Health changes, just water level, and we do this thing here. Okay, that might look better now. Play. Wow, the water again just dropped down like crazy. But at least we saw it. Zup. Why? It's the water percentage that we're reducing. It gets reduced by two aspects. First one is the growth, because it grows, so therefore, we're losing stuff. So, oh, wait. Where do we process water? Water changes. Current water volume, decrease it by the capacity times sample times delta. Whenever we have plus minus or something, we need to make sure that it's delta. Health change per water times delta. That's good. Yeah. And delta here. Okay. That might make it a little bit more manageable. See, the water decreases. Initially it was too much. And the health now is getting adjusted to start going down a little bit at a slower rate. Because it was way too much water, right? So the thing is that initially we need to have more appropriate value for the water level, I guess. Recalculate it all. Yeah. So the health now increases. And now it's gonna start decreasing again. What the heck? So growth goes down and the health goes down again. Hmm. Very interesting. Okay. So now the growth multiplier per size. Let's make it back to, what was it? 0.5? How this is gonna look? The water goes down way quicker. You just need to quickly grab it. Okay. All right. What the hell? Why is the water slowing down in usage? Oh, I guess it's stabilizing, right? Because we started from the size of 0.1, and this is just math makes it weird. So I guess we would need to make the multiplier weird too. I don't want to make the math weird. Let's just say that we start from the 0.1. That's good. And with water capacity, we have 1 current volume. Yeah, water capacity is being calculated from all this stuff. So I guess we just need to make this whole func ready and just recalculate a bunch of stuff here. So again, we need to have our sample value. Okay, so we don't change the current volume. We need to set it. That's the difference. So we need the capacity and we need to set the current water volume. Is this max water capacity? So let's say we're going to make it half. So it's going to be by 2. Okay, that's where we're going to start. Yeah. Apply health changes. We're not doing anything here. Growth change rate. So health, I would always want initially to be, like nice. So health is 1. Anything else? Growth rate, that's going to recalculate itself because we have the base. And size is 0.1. So let's actually not call it red. Let's make it a separate function. reset plant. Okay. And that's going to set those basic values. And when we're ready, we just call reset plant. Okay, let's move it out of here. And this way we'll be able to call it later when, let's say, we restart a game. We want to start from brand new plant. And when I run that, the water should start from the middle, right? Yeah, and now it's going down. And it's gonna start getting damaged. Yep. Cool. Because no water. You would need to pick it up and start watering. Cool. I'm happy with that. So... Because we don't have the watering done yet, and that's not me doing it, but at least we have a system to add the water and stuff, right? So let's make it as a function, okay? Let's make it as a available function, adding water, because this will be something that we need to call from some time to time. So func add water volume, okay? And all it's gonna do is basically current water volume plus equals the volume. Just float. Okay, and anything else? And we want to clamp the value. So current water volume is clamp F. And we can probably just do it here. That's volume from 0 to max water capacity. There we go. One liner. And this way we just have, we call add volume. If it's already full, we're not going to overfill it and all that fancy stuff. All right, I'm happy with that. And we don't have any other modifiers really, because the growth and whatnot, that will be fertilizer, another thing to kind of adjust. I wonder if adding fertilizer would remove water, so you need to quickly water it after adding fertilizer or something. Okay, cool. Cool beans. I'm good with that. So that's our plant stats. Our plant is just happy by being there. So the thing now is that when we have main menu, when we start a game, we would need to probably just load stuff separately. Yeah, so let's just comment the changes that we have right now and make it into pull request, and then we're gonna think what to do next. So we have basically main scene. What the hell changed on main scene? Hacked scene, plant. I guess it has unique ID suddenly. Cool, why not? And plant stats. Yeah, we added that. So add stat curves and calculations. So will be define stat curves. This will be actually for pull request more than that. Define stat curves. Utilize those curves when calculating. So let's do that. Calculating health, growth rate, and water level. Make water level change over time. And have capacity. And expose add water volume function. Okay. So that's gonna go into our pull request. So we're gonna push this and create a new pull request. There we go. That's growth management to main. We add this description here. Bam, bam, bam. Create pull request. And we've got it here. Bam. Okay, so this is our pull request. Not a lot changed, right? Just that. So now we have to think about further development. So one thing I will probably add quickly is the option to just have a little debug menu where you can click to add water, remove water, or something like that to balance that level. And I'm thinking about one thing, because the health either decreases or increases, it'll be nice to just show on a screen like +1, +5, minus something. And that could basically show up like, every, let's go to the plant. So as we have the plant growing, the health is going to start decreasing in a second. Yeah, the progress bar is going down slowly. So maybe every 2 seconds or something on a timer, we could just show the +1 or -1, just plum, plum, and have like 2D animation or something, or falling, maybe. Could we overlay to the animation on 3D World? Um, huh. That could be fun, to be honest. And this way we would see that, the player would see that, oh, the plant is getting worse, oh, the plant is getting better, or something of that sort. So let's think about how we would do that. We could have it either as a separate UI element or part of the plant itself. But I think the plant itself will be reused. Yeah, because the plant itself will be reused, because the thing is that after we finish growing the plant, we want to go to the screen where we're have the competition and we're showing that the plant is this size, somebody's holding it, or maybe it's, if it's so large, it's just somebody in a helicopter is taking a picture of it. So in theory, that could be a good spot to keep reusing the plant. Like, hey, the plant is here, it has those stats, just show it there. And therefore we wouldn't really want to have this plus and minus stuff in there unless we just have a separate thing to stop the growth and whatnot. Let me think. Yeah, maybe we can just make it stop growing and therefore the UI will disappear. Let's see if we can add 2D nodes to the 3D world. Probably not, because 2D nodes are displayed as a plane, right? So that will need to be with the camera, so we would need to basically have UI layer instead. Yeah, I would like 2D. Come on. Where's the browser? Here. Let's search for that. Godot, add 2D to 3D world. To the sprites? No. To the objects, viewports. Ooh, viewports.
Welcome everyone to this lecture. In this lecture, we're going to be how to put sprite into our. We're going to basically put something in our game. So, okay. In order to do this, right away.
Viewport.
We're going to add a node 3D. We're going to add a progress bar.
What the heck? Why are adding progress bar to node 3D?
That is pretty much all we need. Now for the progress bar, this is going to be the
oh, and a viewport.
See it right there, But the size, we want to make sure we adjust it equal to the progress bar. So what we'll do is we'll go to the progress bar's layout, transform, and we'll set this to maybe 120 and 20.
But that's not it, because that's just on a viewport. I would like to add 2D element to it. So he's just adding that, and the progress bar will be... Oh no, progress bar is just there in the world. I don't want that. No. Getting 2D overlays in a 3D world with Godot.
Another useful use for this technique is to actually have like items to say let's do, and it's a kinematic. I think it's really cool that Godot allows that texture frame a viewport, and that's not what we're trying to get. What we want is the rock to the tag to follow with the rock. Well, what we need to do that is make a script. So right here, do add script.
Okay.
All right, location on the screen 2D function, and we're going to do screen.
I see.
So at the 000 position of the sit inside of a 3D world, or at least position itself.
It would be nice if you show the scene, right?
That's pretty here, and
scene like
I want to do.
Oh, here's a scene on the right. Wow, what a strange layout. World layout and name tag is there.
The tag right when we for position little
expand the name tag, or is it not gonna change at all?
Rock.
So it's a texture frame. Okay.
Bob the Rock. So what I want to do is add a label to this.
What the heck is a texture frame? And inside of that, he just made an UI label. Okay, so what's the point of a texture frame then? Okay, still not sure how to actually achieve it. Because I want to add a 2D overlay that I can have 2D physics on it. Sounds like it should be a separate scene, or maybe, or something like that, that doesn't exist in this specific world. Whole separate thing. Can like add a viewport or something? So let's go to the plant. And what if I'm gonna do viewport? Sub viewport, what does it say? An interface to game world that doesn't create a window to draw to the screen directly. Really, it doesn't draw to the screen directly. Okay. So there's the viewport. Add child. Can I add 2D node? I can. Oh, look at that. It tries to preview the viewport, I guess. Ah, when we're here with this, the viewport is here. How do I display the viewport though? What if I'm gonna just add something like sprite? Or is there... No, the control for text is just that? Really? Font? Text? How do you add 2D text? Other than controls? No 2D. Sprites, camera 2D, collisions, lines. Huh. Rigid. Wait, rigid body 2D. Let's do that. Rigid body 2D. And it needs collision and it needs some other stuff. So let's add something simple, like a control to it, label, okay? The label will be like -20. Okay, that should be it. Where's that label? It doesn't display, really? Great, it doesn't display. Collision shape 2D. And that should have the shape of, I don't know, a circle, something. It tries to draw that circle. It kind of fails, but maybe that's gonna be it. So how do I draw the viewport? Wow, the frame rate is horrible. This is good. Careful just freaks out because it's invisible. Camera is good. Cal seating, bad. Animation player, good. What the heck? And viewport is here. So it doesn't have any transform. This sucks. Okay, I don't know how to do it. So I guess we're just gonna make a simple overlay for the plant. So what I'm gonna do is create new user interface. Let's make it a plant status, right? Plant stat changes UI. Okay. And what we're gonna do is let's assume that the plant shows up at the center or something. Not really either. Let's make a new child node. It'll be control. Not really either. Wait, how can I specify where the 0.00 is? Anchor preset is at the center, but the thing should be stretched. So horizontal alignment, everything in the center. I don't know what this does. When active, moving controls changes their anchor instead of their offsets. Whatever. Let's just put it in our scenes UI and let's just save it here. So now I would like to just add a label. Come on. I just want to see a label that will be able to just copy paste. So let's do health label. Let's make it +10. And for now, I'm just gonna do theme override. Font color, for example, we're gonna make it green. Whatever, it's green, great. I want font size to be 30 pixels or something. There we go. So I should be able to just plop it wherever I want, right? The only thing is that I want it to be centered and whatnot. Doesn't allow my center, center, and this pivot is still top left. Come on. Really? Layout. Oh well, we'll see how it goes. So let's say that we have this +10. In this UI, let's add a timer. Timer. Let's make it health update timer. Auto start every 2 seconds. Every 2 seconds, we want to basically do stuff in our script. So we're gonna add the script to the UI changes. And this will be inside scripts UI. Okay. There we go. And what we need here is a few things. We need to have reference to our label. And our timer, not really. We just want our timer to be able to call this. So our timer node timeout will be here on health update timer timeout. Sure. Horrible name. It's too long, but we'll live. So what we're gonna do here is, I don't think we need the process. Oh no, we will need process. So let's make a list of those health labels. So var labels, it'll be an array of label. Just empty array initially, okay? I'll just be cloning the health label or something for now. So we've got a link to that health label, and what we can do probably is whenever timer updates, we need to basically get the reference to the previous stuff. Hello, D4Devil. How are you doing? Have you a good rest? And Ratam says hi. Hello to you too. You both join in at the same time. Okay. So on the health update timer, the idea would be that when we store the previous health value, and if it changes significantly, we just show the number that something changed. If it didn't really change significantly, we don't worry. D4Devil says a really good one. That's good to hear. There are some pull requests for you. I approved a few of those just to keep going. And while I have you here, let me just show you what the hell's going on, because you probably haven't had a chance to really grasp what's going on in the project. So, as an overview, oh, by the way, just let me know if you're actually listening, so I'm not just talking into nowhere, because I would like to explain a few things, how they work behind the scenes. And then, okay. So the things that are happening in our main scene, of course, not much is happening, but we have few of those global things. So if I'm going to go to the project, in our structure inside scripts, we have few important things. The most important one is the game state machine. Okay, this is automatically loaded, so wherever you use, game state machine, it's just it can get to its instance. Alrighty. Godot is actually pretty easy to learn, Ratom, so you might pick it up in like 5 seconds. So our game state machine basically has a few states: main menu, growth, and results. Main menu is when we have the menu, when we have no scene loaded, nothing. Growth is our phase where we grow the kale and keeps growing, we water it, and we have all those mechanics. And results are one of two. One type of result is when we show, the player in the competition, like, oh, I won or whatnot. And the other is we show the player in the competition, they're crying because their plant died and they don't have a plant during the competition. So this is that. And so the whole idea is that, we hold the current state and we have the signal that things can subscribe to, like when the state changes. This is what UI is using. It detects when the state changed and it hides and shows different parts of the UI automatically because it knows from what to what it changed. So it knows what to hide and what to show. And we also have few functions that we can call from wherever. On new game started, okay, we just print the value, state that it's growth, and we emit the change. Once finished, we just switch it to result and emit the event, and on result finished, we go back to growth. So we basically go from main menu to growth, from growth to result, from result to growth, from growth to result, this loop, endless loop. And additionally, we have the on stop game, where either from growth or result, we can go back to main menu. And we'll just keep updating this. So it's dead simple, but it's available everywhere, and various of things subscribe to it. Like, for example, we have the growth timer. This is, again, global thing. All it does, it basically increases the, how much time is left. And, UI can display it or whatnot. But what it does, when it starts up, it reaches out to the game state machine, subscribe to the state changed signal, and basically when the game state changes to growth, it resets the timer. Additionally, when there's no time left, it initiates the game state machine on growth finished, so it initiates the change of the state. That's roughly how it works. And we have one additional thing, which is plant stats, which is growing like crazy. That's what I just finished doing. So we have few stats, basically the size of the plant, which is like just the scale of the plant scene. And we have basically at what pace it's growing, what's the growth base, and how size increases, bunch of multipliers, the health, water capacity and water level that are being calculated, and then we have bunch of curves. Bunch of curves that define how things are changing. So, for example, growth multiplier per size. So what it means is basically how much the growth value is multiplied when changing the size. So as the plant changes, grows, the current curve makes it actually, the larger it is, it grows faster. This way we keep zooming out the world, it doesn't start to slow down, okay? Or maybe growth multiplier per water. So if I'll go to the actual engine, we go to resources balance, you can see that growth multiplier is a curve that basically means that if the water level is somewhere here, the growth multiplier is 1, but if it goes down or something, or too much or too little, the growth starts to slow down. Health change is in like 0. whatever once, so the health goes down if there's too much or too little water, water capacity per size, and a bunch of those things that we can then start using to utilize. We should connect the first curve to the position of the camera? No, absolutely not. Because when you look at this, I mean, it's really slow now because we have water decreasing, growth decreasing, and now the health will start decreasing with progress bars. But the whole idea is that the camera is scaled with the scene, and therefore the camera stays perfectly on the plant. We don't need to change anything with the camera position, which is absolutely awesome. You just scale the scene and just scales with the camera. If I would make the one change, which is we go to plant stats and we're gonna make the global growth multiplier. We're gonna make it to 2. Okay, that will speed up the growth like crazy. So you'll see that now we have no growth. Oh no, because we have no water. Ay. That's the thing, that we have systems already. I need to keep watering it to work. I don't have way to water it yet. But yeah, the camera zooms out pretty nicely. And we have a bunch of those curves that govern the stats. And we have the UI that basically keeps track of the stats. So it's showing them and the plant grows depending on them. The whole code for growing is actually over here. We apply the water changes, the health changes, the growth rate, and basically apply the size, and we have a way to reset everything. And we have a fancy function, add water volume. So basically when you get a watering can and start pouring, you can basically over time, times delta, you can start adding volume of that thing. Like pipette would just add a little bit, watering can will add more, or something like that. Thank you, Ratom. And see you around. So basically, this is what watering can or hose or whatever will be doing. And with something like a watering can, you just do it when you click. But then when we have water hose, you can just make it to probably keep adding nonstop, because as the plant grows, it's gonna require more water. So you'll need a constant thing. So we'll see how that goes, of course. And yeah, so we have that system. And now what I decided to start doing in the meantime is that I want to have little UI that basically shows +10 or -1 or whatever when the plant's health is changing. Like every 2 seconds, this little bouncing +1, -1. This would give the player an idea of like, oh, my plant is actually hurting, because the little progress bar there is kind of shitty, and having a little jumpy label would be more fun. So that's what I started doing now. Until we have some watering options. Okay, so basically on health update timer timeout, we need to calculate how much the health changed. So var last health value. So the previous health is, we need to grab it from somewhere, right? Let's do -1. Okay, we'll make it float. So this way, if we have it negative, we just ignore the whole thing. So if previous health is less than 0, you know, it's the first time. So we're gonna do, what was it? Previous health is, we're just gonna assign it as plant stats dot health, and we just assign it here. Okay, that's it. And I think we can just do it here also. So we might not need this behavior, but just in case we have it. So don't show anything, any changes if there's no previous health value. Okay, we'll check just in case something goes wrong. And then our difference is basically previous health, or let's do the new health minus previous health. Oh, we want to return here as well. So this is the change, right? So basically, if the difference is larger than 1, larger or equal exactly 1, then we're gonna have to do spawn plus x label. And also we save the diff because we just updated the value, so we just have it here. So previous health is this. Else if diff is larger or equal -1, we want to do again spawn -x label, and we save the thing. Otherwise, we don't update the previous health because we want it to slowly decrease until actual significant change happens, so we can show the full number. Because otherwise, the change will be, every frame will be so minuscule that we will never show any changes. Alrighty, so we'll get that just to have the significant changes, and that's it. So we need to spawn those labels, and then in process, we'll be simply making it so that those labels are just moving and falling and disappearing. So how do we spawn that label? Maybe I'll just straight up make it into a separate scene, right? So let's make it save branches scene. So it will be scenes UI. And we're gonna have it inside components, okay? Health change label. Yeah, let's make it into that. Open this up. So be health change label, and we can probably I mean, we can decide the text and the color probably directly on it, right? Because if we want the color, we will need to go to theme, overrides, colors, font color. So theme override. What's that? We just say it here, font color. Yeah, I guess that's it. Yeah, let's try that. So we have our health label. We don't need it to exist in here. Okay. What we need is an actual reference to the thingy. So not resources this time, will be scenes, UI, components, and we're gonna plop the health change label, but not here. We can do it in the editor. So let's make it here. Export var health label scene, and this will be packed scene. Okay, and we'll assign it, of course, right? That's it. So we don't need this part, and therefore we can just probably hop in here and choose the scene to be the health change label. Okay, and that's that. So what we're gonna do here, oh, and then that scene, right? This we can just position just straight up here or something. Yeah, that's it. What if we change label to like this? Okay, it looks great. So let's resize it to be a little bit larger. There we go. We don't change the size. It's just here. It's just gonna plop and bam. Cool. Okay, this gets me somewhat excited. So if we have access to this, we can basically spawn the X label, plus X label. So we're gonna do var label is this dot instantiate. Okay. And then the label dot this needs to be as label. Okay. Dot text color. No font color. Oh no, we don't have those theme overrides. How do we do that? Because we have access to the health label. Okay, that's not a big deal. The control itself has font size inside somewhere. Theme property. Theme dot font size. That's for the whole theme. It doesn't exist. We'll see what happens, right? Font size. So it will be. Oh wait, not font size. Font color, right? Set font. Oh no. Color. Oh no. Set color and what does it expect? Name. Font color. This is ridiculous. Too much work already. To be, we need to specify color. Export var positive health positive color. And that'll be color. Okay, and we'll have the same for negative. So if we're +1, it'll be positive color. All right, and I guess we need to do it this way. There we go. And what else do we need to set on that label? Label dot position is new label position. That'll be another thing that we need to do. So let's make it in here. Can we add something like a marker? Not really. So huh. Whoops. Control. Just empty control. I'm gonna make it always go to the center. And this will be the center marker. Okay, cool. So we can go to the scene itself, grab the center marker to be available somewhere down here. And we can probably just say that the position will be center marker dot position. Okay. Hopefully it's gonna just show up there. And I'm also gonna do print displayed plus X. Okay. And also we need to add it to the scene itself. So it will be add child label. And labels append label. This way we can keep track of them and I guess remove them. Unless we make it into the label itself, the fact that when it's spawned, it throws itself somewhere and just moves down. And removes itself. This way we wouldn't need to even keep track of the label itself. Yeah, let's do that. I'm gonna add it here as a child, set the position, theoretical color. And for now, let's display that. And for the other way around, with -x, we also need to specify the label. Label.text is plus, and then we want the D, percentage D. And the value will be diff. Okay, there we go. So we can copy this whole thing and go for it here. Displayed -x and minus, it'll be color will be negative. And let's hope that it's gonna work. I really hope it's gonna work. But I have no clue if it will. Okay. I think I connected everything. Now we can go here and basically specify that the positive color will be green and negative color will be red. Let's save it and let's see what's gonna happen. Another thing is we need to actually add it to our UI scene. We need to add the health level. No. Progress bar. Plant stat changes. Plant stat changes. There we go. Open it. And by default, it's not visible. We'll need to add it to our UI script to have it here. Okay. And of course, this doesn't change. Save. There we go. So we need a reference to plant stat changes. Okay. And the way we're gonna do it is that when the main menu goes away, main menu visible off. And when growth is on, we're gonna hide the, when we finish the growth, we're gonna do the, what is it called? This thingy dot visible false. Well, here will be true. And this should hide and show it appropriately. So what the hell's gonna happen? Error. Cannot assign value type node to parallel plant stat changes. Ooh, I see. I see. There we go, now it's a control. Modify node. Which line is that? Parser error. GD6. I just changed it and I just saved it. Godot, calm down. Don't change my script. Don't change my scripts, please. Okay, start new game. And soon we'll start having the health going down. But, oh, the changes. I want to make the changes like 10 times larger. So let's do it this way. When we calculate the diff. When we calculate the diff, it will be the plan.health minus this, and we're gonna amplify it times 100. So we will pretend that the plan has 100 health rather than just being value from 0 to 1. And that should make a difference, hopefully. Oh, there we go. Time to call function set color and base null instance. Okay, so we can't set the color that way, unfortunately. I'm just gonna skip setting the color because I don't know how to do that yet. We'll need to search. But hey, it was trying to call it. Yep, showed negative 1. And another, and another. This is going faster. Wow, it went all the way to 3. Cool. Okay, we've got progress. There's progress. So we have the health change label. So we can probably move some of the code that we have in here, which is like position we're gonna set, but the label text, not really. So let's look at our label change here, health label. We're gonna add a script to it. Scripts, UI, and this will be health change label. Let me just check some things. On Discord. Okay, so with our label, one thing we wanted to do is basically set the few variables for it. So it'll be, first one will be var, let's call it text. We probably don't have to do that because that's going to be assigned automatically. So let's undo that. What we want to do is we want to assign extra things like what? We don't have anything to assign because text is that simple. So let's do just other stuff. On ready, we want to basically apply some kind of velocity. So let's do var velocity is a vector 2. And we're assigning it here immediately anyway. So velocity is random. Yeah. Vector 2 with random f from range from, I don't know, negative. And xy, I want it to be negative. So it'll be negative And this will be how many pixels per second. So let's do -20 to 20. We'll see how that value goes. While how high it goes, it's gonna be from up should be negative. So -20 to -40 maybe, or something like that. So that's that. And why is it happy? Vector. There we go. So that's our velocity. And on process, we'll just do a very simple thing where we just do the position plus equals velocity times delta. Okay? And then we're gonna modify the velocity by the gravity. So velocity plus equals, and the gravity for in our case will be 0, because it doesn't go anywhere sideways, and 980 or something like that pixels per second. That's a little bit much, but times delta. We'll see how it goes. We can always make it 9.8 or something. Doesn't matter. But that means that the velocity should be changing. And I also want to add some drag, so we're gonna make that the velocity times equals 0.99. Okay, whatever. We've got some drag. But if I'm gonna add a multiplier, it's gonna change depending on. Okay, 1.0 negative, and the drag will be 0.01 times delta. Okay, let's do that. Okay, cool. Great. And the other thing is that we want to basically add a timer to it. So let's do get tree, okay, dot create timer. And what do we have here? How long? So let's do after 1 second, okay? As always, whatever, physics, no, ignore timescale, no. So we got a timer, and we do. Wait, how do we use that timer now? We need to connect the timeout.connect. And what we give it is something very simple. What is it? Q3. That's what's gonna get called. Okay. So what this is gonna do is say, hey, in 1 second, delete itself. Delete itself in 1 second. And this just creates like a temporary timer, very efficient one. The timer is gonna delete itself as well. It's just gonna disappear in 1 second. Cool. So that's good. So let's see if it works. I'm really curious. And I just realized why we had negative minus, because we are doing this here. We don't need the negative one. So we instantiate it. We set text position and add it, and that should be it. So let's try it again. Let's see if its code is gonna work. Play it. New game. And let's see what the hell is gonna happen with those labels. Okay, we have no velocity sideways at all. And it looks like there's some kind of trail behind those. So weird. So the gravity is fine. We just need to really increase the things here. So let's do 500, negative 500 to 500 here, and maybe I mean that probably it's gonna be too much. So -600 to -1000 for the Y, so that goes down. This might be too much. It's gonna go because it's supposed to take 1 second to go down. Okay, I mean, it's not that bad. Let's make it a little bit less drastic. So we're gonna make it into sideways only, maybe 250. Well, here it'll be from 250 to maybe 500, and we're gonna increase the gravity maybe to 1100, something like that, and make the timeout 2 seconds. Bam. Bam. Okay. All right. We're getting somewhere. It's the wrong spot to show the numbers from. I don't know why it's like that. I would assume the plant is in the center, but the labels might be doing something weird. Yep, it's getting cool. Oh, -11, -12. Bam, plant is dead. And it reached 0, so it's not decreasing anymore. The water is going down. Yep, plant's long dead. All right. I'm not gonna worry about textures yet or fonts. Let's just modify this center marker because it's in a weird spot. What if I'm gonna plop it here? Nearly there. So just a little bit more, and let's call it a day that it's here. The only thing is with those labels, I would kind of want to add shadow color. There we go. There we go. We have shadow, and we can add an outline, which will be white. Styles. No. So let's skip this. We have shadow color. I'm happy about that. It's already better. I'm gonna make the font size a little bit different though. Maybe 40. Okay. And this has a chance of being a little bit nicer. Okay. Cool. Oh, I know, because the X is here, so it freaks out. It adds X in this location. Maybe not. I don't know. Now it's gonna be probably even more offset. But no, it's not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad at all. Cool. Very, very, very cool. Okay, so I'll say that this is ready for now. The only thing is that we don't have the... Oh, negative should be red, while the other should be the other color. How the heck do I set a color for it? We don't want this thing. Don't set label color GD script vehicle. There we go. Set property path value. So set theme override colors. Oh, font color. Theme override colors. Interesting. Add color override. Let's try this thingy with the text first. It's less elegant, but oh well. So let's try this. label dot set theme override colors, font color, and we're gonna set it to health positive, and here will be health negative. Please work. Please, 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 please work. Yes, it works. Okay, great. Problem solved. So let's just make this color a bit brighter. Okay. Well, the green will be very bright green. Wait, what? Why does it get so weird? Sure. Good enough. Okay. Is it visible or is it not? Okay, the text also shows up long enough on screen, so it makes sense. Just one little slight adjustment. Gravity, 1500, and I'll call it a day. I can't stop adjusting those things. OCD. Cool. Very, 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 very cool. Yeah. Okay, let's push the changes. So, we're still in growth management. We don't want that. We want to go to main. We want to create a new branch, which will be health flying labels. Okay. And we're gonna commit the changes, which is, whoa. Plant changed everything? What the heck? What did I change in Godot script? If the UI, that's fine. Plant and health change, good. Plant stat changes UI. Yeah. Oh, that's a scene. Health change label, scene, yeah. The UI scene, added a new thing. What's up with the plant suddenly? Animation. Replace an animation. What? Oh, because we're not in growth management. I see. So let's do discard changes. Okay, we're gonna push those changes here. The stuff that actually changed. So let's do add damage / heal flying numbers. Let's push it. And let's suck in the main. And okay, we didn't get any problems. The plant itself didn't change either. So I don't know what's up with those animations that were kind of removed, replaced there. Strange. Godot will complain now. So let's close it. Let's rerun it and see if it still works. If not, I'll be sad. Okay, 45 minutes left for this morning stream. Start at 11, so not really morning. All right, let's try to play it again and see if it works. This works. Okay, we've got our health damage. Does it still work if I resize it? It does. Beautiful. Okay. I mean, this doesn't work, but I don't care right now. Oh dear. Labels move, the other things doesn't move. Oh wow. This works, so I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's lots of damage. Alrighty. So if that works, we can make a push. Let's push this thing. First of all, this all changes. I don't understand why. Kale seed visible, kale seedling visible. It just moved it around a little bit. Mysterious plant changes. Sure, let's commit them. There's lots of little things that Godot changes out of nowhere. Very strange. Okay. So yep, that's a commit. Create pull request from the health flying labels to main. Add flying damage slash heal numbers. Okay. And create pull request. There we go. Copy and paste to Discord. And I'm reading stuff late. The input is not propagating to reach unhandled input. Looks like having the UI is consuming the event. So I was seeing something like that. Even if the UI was like rearranged, you couldn't click the menu button. So let's take a look at the menu layers. So go here, the UI. We go into the scene. What do we have in here? We have just a layer, transform, follow viewport, and whatnot, and just processing. Physics. This has nothing to do with an event, so not that. Let's say plant stats, because this is a control. Hit focus, non-mouse, filter, stop. Controls whether the control will be able to receive mouse button input events through GUI input, and how these events should be handled. Also controls whether the control can receive mouse entered and mouse exited. So stop. The control will receive mouse movement input events and mouse button if clicked through GUI input. And the control will receive mouse enter. This is automatically marked as handled. And they will not propagate it further to other controls. But do they inherit? Ignore the control will not receive movement. Control also not receive this. This will. Come on. This will not receive this. Will not block other controls from receiving flying. Okay, ignore events will not be handled automatically. So this is something that we want. What is pass? It'll receive the stuff and pass it back. Okay. Note, if the control has received this, will cause mouse exit to be emitted. So let's make it to ignore. Okay. Timer UI. Input. Mouse. Ignore. Main menu. We want it to actually take everything. Nothing else gets clicked. And plant stats will be mouse. Ignore. And I think that should change everything. And therefore, some other UI layer, if it has any buttons, I wonder how it works if the whole scene needs to be changed like that or not. We should probably just change it here as well, because I think I overrode stuff there, but we want to just have the actual scenes to implement that. Timer UI. Mouse ignore. And plant stats. Ignore. I'm not sure if this applies to all the children or not. Because that's something I am like totally not sure. But hopefully that's gonna fix it. So let's push those changes. Good cracking. So those 4 changes. What I'm gonna do is just... This hasn't been merged yet, I believe, so I'm just gonna do it here. Apply scene mouse input changes. Okay, let's push it. And the pull request is still open. Awesome. So, D4 Devil, if you want, you can review the changes and merge them in. It should fix your input problems. Now, what the hell do I do next? I guess the next step would be to add this kind of like finish screen that we have some UI for it, even though there's nothing there yet. And change the scene to that, possibly. And on top of that, we need to prevent the plant from growing or changes, the stats shouldn't be changing if we're not in a growth stage. But the problem with the competition scene, because after the plant grows and the timer runs out, you move to this results page or scene. And there are 2 ways to present this thing. One way would be to, there's a competition and the plant is being presented and whatnot, where somebody holds it. And then if the plant is too large, it's being presented what it was growing. Like, oh, maybe it's the size of your house. It's being shown from some kind of crane or something from the sky. So depending on the size of the plant, when we move to the next stage, we should either unload the growing scene and go to like competition results scene, or we should stay in the scene and just load in some additional stuff. So I guess that's what would happen with the thing. Because right now, in our main scene, we have world. And world has all this stuff, like all those placeholders. By the way, Devil, some of the, what do you call them? Some of the assets are already in. So inside the assets, we have the audio, we have the song, then we have the models. The Kale seedling and Kale are in place. There's pipette, player, podium, and water can. We have textures for all of those too. So I can quickly apply those textures for you. So that, because I remember the process. I'm kind of running out of steam, so maybe I'll actually finish after that. I could take a break, because this is quite exhausting. So let's do it this way. I can see that this was merged in, so I'm gonna go to main, reload everything, get rid of my own branches. Perfect. And did you merge in your unnecessary class? Wait, what is it? Interaction for watering? That was it, right? Yeah. Uh, you merged that in. Okay. It looks like you're reusing the same branch. Interesting. All right. Bum, 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 bum. Cool. Real cool. All right. So let's create a new branch, and it will be. Oh, no big deal. There's nothing wrong in reusing a branch. It's just something I rarely see. Okay, you're using the model as a placeholder. Okay, because I put in the stuff that was sent today. I'll just apply the stuff and no big deal. There shouldn't be any clashes, right? Apply model textures. So the applying of those textures should be relatively easy. We already did that for the stuff. I'm gonna cancel and close it and reopen it. That seems to work best with Godot. Okay. Cool. This will work. This looks like it works. Looks like it's slowly growing, and we've got the damage. Beautiful. Okay. So here in the assets, we've got the stuff. That's cool. So we have textures that we got. So I mean, doesn't look like we have pipette texture yet. So player texture, podium texture, and watering can texture. So let's apply those. The way it works, we go to materials. We can literally duplicate the existing one. And watering can material. Here, although I need to make it no alpha, okay, because that was the one thing that was there. And texture will be watering can. Bam. Why did it close? Not sure. Okay, we got the texture. We should have the pixelated pixel view on it. Let's make it a little bit shiny. And yeah, the filter is nearest. Beautiful. So with that, we can go to the models, double click our water can, and in materials and texture, we can just enable external, and it will be resources, materials, watering can, open. And when we re-import it, it doesn't show it, but it's there. So if I'm gonna plop it here, we have the fancy watering can. Okay. Animations didn't import yet, but we've got a watering can. Okay. So that's good. Now we're gonna work on podium and player. So let's do it this way. Podium material. And that will be texture. Podium texture. There we go. And we'll add it podium. That probably will be roughness will be higher up. 0.7. And then we have the player. Player material. So let's give him player texture. Okay. And player, well, roughness would be like 85 or something, because he's gonna be rough. He's a farmer. Okay, so let's get to our models player. Materials, external. Come on, back. Resources. Player material. Open. Re-import. And when we pull up the player's being textured. He looks happy. Cool. Alrighty. So we got a player, and gosh, Godot has really bad shadows, that's for sure. And we have the podium, which we can just, looks like it has 2 materials, which is interesting. Resources, materials, podium. Okay, the same one here. Let's pop it here, and we've got a beautiful podium. Awesome, and we can place the player on the podium. Yeah, that works. Cool. There we go. Alrighty, so we have all those things applied. So let's push them. So player VX import podium and watering can, and all 3 texture imports and material changes. There we go. So it'll be finish. No, materials for watering can, player, and podium. Let's commit it, push it, and let's create a pull request. And doesn't need any additional description. Cool. Alrighty. Copy paste the thing. Okay, so looks like we've got some kind of problem. So before I push that PR to be finished, let's take a look at that. So the player itself, I noticed that, I don't know, player's fine, but the podium, look at those numbers. They have stuff around them. Like, it shouldn't be. Huh. I wonder if Godot's trying to, I don't know, compress the texture or something. That's why it adds those various variants of colors here and there. Because I think the whole thing's supposed to have less colors, but look, there are some yellows here and stuff. Interesting. So let's take a peek at the texture and the material. We go to textures, podium. Do we have like import settings for it? Mode. Lossless. VRAM compressed, VRAM uncompressed. Click. Reimport. Fixed. Look at that. That's all it is. We just need to fix all the textures this way. And the last one here. There we go. Now it's fixed. That was quick. All right. So basically what is happening and textures, we need to basically specify import. We need to specify mode VRAM uncompressed. And that's it. I remember having these problems years ago in Unity where some textures were horrible. It's all because the engine tries its best. Okay, so now the chaos should look good, right? Yeah, it still looks great. Okay. Good. Alrighty. So I'm gonna push those changes and finish for now. I can already say that I'll be streaming at 8, which will be 5 hours from now. You know, 5.5 hours of a break, and then we're gonna go through the night. So let's go to our Kraken, and let's really. So those got updated again. I guess the resources, material. For PNGs, it's fine, but FBX import and everything. Very interesting how. Wait, I'm looking at old stuff. That's what it is. Now it makes sense. Uncompress the textures. Does it mean that I also need to uncompress the other texture? Because I have one extra texture, which is sprites, progress bar. It shows lossless. Okay, somehow here magically made itself lossless. Go figure. Okay. Push. And it's time to send that for approval. Not here. So this will be the PR for adding materials to the rest of the models. Okay. Includes uncompressed textures. Bam. Alrighty. So that'll be it for right now. Like I mentioned, in 5 hours I'll have another stream for another few hours. And I do not understand that language. No, I don't understand the language. So again, thank you for watching. See you in 5 hours. If you like the content, consider liking and subscribing on YouTube. Consider if you're watching on Twitch, consider following on Twitch. And if you want to hang out with me a little bit more, you can also join my Discord. There's a link in the description. And yeah, we'll continue pushing the game forward. See ya.